Hey everybody, how's it going? Pancheezey here with the S.H.Figuarts Android 16 figure review. So finally, after months of waiting, the figure is finally here, and I just gotta say that I'm really glad that we're finally getting some B-list characters in S.H.Figuarts form. Now don't get me wrong, I love all the stands, I love all the main villains, but it's really nice to go ahead and fill out that roster with some obscure characters like Android 16 here. So let's go ahead and take a quick tour around the box. Here's the front, pretty standard. Here's the side, soak it in. The other side, some nice artwork on it. The top, right here. The bottom, right here. And finally the back. And let me be the first to say, I'm really glad that they're finally toning it down with the Comic Sans here. It's only just one thing with Comic Sans, so I applaud you, S.H.Figuarts. If you guys want to go ahead and read some of the text on the back, go ahead and be my guest. Just pause it, I'll zoom in for you. Alright. Okay. Cool beans. And can't forget this, he's movable. Alright, now with that out of the way, let's go ahead and open him up and see what comes inside the box. Jesus, he's solid. Alright, so first up it comes with one set of blasting hands, a smiling face, a screaming face, and possibly the coolest thing about this figure, his half blown up head, which is really tight. Alright, so let's get down to brass tacks. Here's Android 16, and this guy he's awesome, man. First impressions, this guy is really tight. I really love the paint apps, everything. Just, it looks really good. Such a clean figure, and look at just how the light bounces off of like his armor or whatever you want to call it, clothes, whatever. Just look really good. The paint application on the clothes, specifically his little green armors, just look really good. A really nice shine, a really nice sheen to them. It just looks really nice, especially if you have a lot of lights going on. Perfect for figure photography and even lighted detolf displays. So while we're here, let's go ahead and go over some of the articulation. Okay, so he's able to stick his arm all the way up here thanks to that really cool joint that S.H.Figuarts likes to put on these figures. His whole arm rotates right here, which is really cool, as well as some extra rotation that you can get right here too. Now he does have a double jointed elbow, but it does take some playing around with to get right, mostly due to the way his forearm is molded and some couple other things like that. His hands are on an articulated ball peg, which is really nice. And one of the coolest parts about this figure is his forearm does come completely off, so he can use his Hellfire cannon attack, which is really tight. Next up is his upper body articulation. It does have kind of a crunch. It doesn't really go forward a lot at all, but it does go back quite a way. And it's hard to not notice that these little shoulder pads right here are articulated as well. They're able to move around so you can get some nice range, however you want to do. Pretty cool. And right here on the back you can see where they connect and how they're articulated too. Moving down to his midsection, he's got these little, I don't know what you want to call these, like little side skirt armor things that are pretty much just like how the sand armor is articulated. Really nice. We're able to swivel his waist around, which is pretty cool. Not 360 degrees, which is interesting. And it doesn't like elongate down like some of the other figures in the line, which I think is an interesting move. Next, down to the legs, it has that S.H.Figuarts thigh joint, which lets you pull it down for some extra range and movement, which is really cool. His knees are double jointed. You don't get a lot of movement, but the option is there. His foot is on a peg, which can rotate and pivot and all that cool stuff. And he does have toe articulation. And I just broke his little toes. And coming back up to his head, he's got a nice rotation on his head. He can go full 360 degrees. He can look down pretty well, and this is about as high as he can look up. Not that great, but what are you gonna do? And most importantly, you can pop his head off, so you can throw it right under Cell's foot, recreate some awesome scenes. And if you want to change out his faces, all you really gotta do is pop off his head, pop off his hair, and just plop his hair onto a new head. Stick it back on, and you're good to go. Look, he's happy. And there you have it. That's the look at the Android 16 S.H.Figuarts figure. And I gotta say, this figure freaking rules. Now, some of the only cons I can think of is that it's not as articulated as I'd like it to be. And that is kind of weird since the last figure we got was Brawly and he was more articulated than we ever could have imagined. But what Android 16 lacks in articulation, he more than definitely makes up for it in quality alone. I can't express it enough. This figure just screams quality. Even as soon as I picked it out of the box, like, I had to pause for a second and just realize that this thing was sturdy. It was like, it was solid. It was a solid figure, and it just had real weight and real gravity to it. It was just incredible. Like, picking it up was nothing like picking up like a Goku or a Vegeta or anything. Like, he wasn't as heavy as a Brawly, but for his size, he was just like dense, and he just felt really well built. That, paired with the outstanding paint job that this figure got, really makes this a force to be reckoned with. Like, I mean, just look at it. You can't just sit there and tell me that that green doesn't just pop off the figure. It really has a nice contrast with the matte finish of everything else on the figure. So, at the end of the day, if you decide to pick this guy up, I guarantee you won't be disappointed. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts. If you guys are interested in what I do with this figure, I do a show called Posing Ain't Easy, where I talk about all the ins and outs of figure photography and ACBA. If you guys want to go ahead and see all the pictures that I take and whatnot, you can always go ahead and follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm the most active. And if you guys have any questions, go ahead and feel free to let me know in the comment section below, and I'll gladly answer them. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my review of the Android 16 S.H.Figuarts figure, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one.